good afternoon. Whenever you're listening to this, welcome to the internet's most sophisticated wrestling podcast, discussing the weekly aspects of it all, right here on
the Bald Monkeys Wrestling Podcast.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Bald Monkeys podcast, and welcome to the finale of our Mission Pro series leading up to Hell Hath No Fury. I have Captain Chuckles with me. Chuck, we are here.
I'm giddy. I really am. Like, what is it? It'll be 3 days away when we put this out, and I have been so looking forward to this Friday for the past 2 to 2.5 months.
It's been just building and building, and what better way to finish off our series of Mission Pro than with the owner of Mission Pro Wrestling, with the NWA Champion, with the workhorse in wrestling right now. Thunder Rosa is with us tonight. Thunder, thank you.
Well, I just want to make it clear, it's not the workhorse right now. It's been 6 years of doing it nonstop, so it never stopped. It won't stop until I retired. And probably
the workhorse.
I keep working, doing something else. But thank you guys. I'm excited that you guys are excited. It's been 2 really long and crazy months of a lot of work. We're doing a lot of stuff that we weren't doing before. We revamped the whole entire thing, and honestly, it paid off.
I think so. I mean, sold out show. The only way to get it right now is to get on Title Match Wrestling and watch it during the stream.
It's I will say how long have we been running shows now? Since 2016, 17 we've been running shows. Yeah, 16, and this is our first one that we completely sold out. So we're
so great. First of many.
Absolutely.
So Thunder, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for letting us speak with all the talent. Everyone has been so welcoming, so much fun. We've had a blast. And now here we are, and I think we're going to kick it off like we always do and find out how Thunder Rosa was when she was little young Thunder Rosa.
Well, I was a little girl that wanted to come to America, the middle of 3 girls. I grew up with nothing but soap operas, a lot of playing outside with my friends, and just going to school. School was my getaway. When the summer hit, I have nothing to do, so I just want to go back to school because I was a nerd, and I was that's super nerd. But the only thing I like is all my friends were there, so I used to play games with them and stuff. So we didn't have a lot of money, so that's why I used to like to go to school because I was busy. It kept me busy, kept my head busy. In the summers, it was kind of hard. Some of my friends went on vacation, and I was kind of I ain't doing nothing, and
What was your favorite subject in school?
I don't know. I used to like math until I got into calculus. So math, physics. I liked physics when I was in high school because my teacher was really, really good, and he made it really easy. So and I really enjoy going after class and doing tutoring with him because he was really funny. He was this chunky with big mustache guy, and he was always cutting promos on everybody. So it was really fun to have him in class. He was always cutting promos on people. And then when I came to the United States, I was my English in history class. Both of my English teachers were really good. They were really very. One of them was Chicano power, and they taught me all about the Chicano movement and all that stuff. And they got me involved in school politics in high school. And then my other English teacher, she was really big on helping other students, especially the ones that have big dreams. And she always saw that I have big dreams. So she will help me to do things after school. And my history teacher, she was the hardest history teacher in the school. And she was another teacher that she saw a lot of potential in me, and she like actually offered to pay for me to go to college. But of
Oh,
course,
wow.
I said no. But she was all about, empowering women of color. She was African American, and every time she traveled, she brought us a gift to all the students that she had, and she would let us pick whatever. So I think I told Brian we were going to Corpus Christi or someplace over there, here in Texas, and there was cotton on the sides,
Mhm.
cotton fields. And I remember she brought cotton from one of her trips that she did to the South, and she explains that this cotton was many years ago. It was picked by my ancestors, and that just like sticked in my head. And I remember seeing the cotton. I was telling him the story. She was a great history teacher. A lot of people hated her because she was so hard. But if it wasn't because of her, I would have never learned the Pledge of Allegiance and the national anthem. That was like part of the class for you to pass a class. You gotta like learn it. And yeah, I really enjoy those teachers. I still remember them.
It's amazing. It's like teachers are a big part of everybody's life. That I think we all can agree that we always have somebody that we looked up to or helped us along the way. But it sounds like you took a lot of different little good things from all these different teachers and took it and made it into what you became and how you can now hand it down to more people. And I see that how you're inspiring other people from the inspirations you got.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, like, now that I think about it, another English teacher that I had in high school, she actually paid for my semester, because in Mexico you have to pay per semester.
Okay.
School's not free. So I didn't have money. It was like, I'm not lying, it was like $60. I didn't have money to pay for the semester, and I almost didn't sign up for my last semester that I was there. And she was like, hold on, give me a second. Then she goes to the office and she's like, this student cannot pay. So whatever money she needs to pay, take it off my paycheck. And because of her, I was able to go to my last semester in Mexico. So all my English teachers, and though we're all females, they're always like, because they saw that I was really dedicated to school and I really wanted to make it. And they see that I was like always struggling, they see me like selling like candy in school, like just hustling, always hustling for that dollar. Because, I want to help my mom. Like I was, when I was living in San Diego, I was living with my cousins. Like we live in this like studio apartment. It was, my aunt used to sleep in the living room, and then it was like a bunk bed and then a bed. And one of my cousins sleep in one bed. My sister and I would sleep on the bottom, and my other cousin sleep on the top. So we were all like on top of each other. And like, I didn't like to live like that. I just wanted to like have my own apartment or like something, because I was always very independent. I started working when I was 14. So yeah, you're not supposed to be crossing pork from Mexico. So I used to do this thing called tostilocos and sell them in high school. So I'll be like hiding in the corner selling these like food items that you're not supposed to sell in high school. And I used to make pretty good, decent money for about 2 months until they caught me.
Always hustling though. Always hustling.
There's a need, there's a way, and I found it. So yeah, like I did that for a minute. And then there's another girl, she used to sell burritos. She was like the burrito lady, they used to call her. And she used to make bank, man. Like she used to sell like this little ass burritos for $1. She used to bring like 50 or 60. We'd be like super hungry in class. Hey, dame un burrito, no? And like she'll be like, with burrito, had tapatio. You want tapatio in it? Like put a tapatio, be eating your burritos.
Oh man. So we're getting through school. You're hustling and you're getting to America. When does wrestling pop up? When was that first moment of, hey, look, wrestling might be something that I'm interested in?
Not until I was done with school. I was living in the Bay Area. I was 26 years old. My husband had got me hooked in independent wrestling. We used to go to this show is the first day of the month called in Hood Slam. This is when it became really, really popular. So like the lines were like humongous, and it was like so much fun. Like, and I really look forward to it. Like somebody posted a picture of me yelling at one of the wrestlers because I used to like yell, curse. It was like so funny. Like everybody knew. Like we used to sit in the same corner for months, and we used to have so much fun. And then from there we went to more serious wrestling, which was APW in Hayward, California. And that's when I was like, holy crap, like this is like actually pretty good wrestling, like these guys are like athletes. I didn't see a lot of women back then, but it was a lot of fun, and I really enjoy it. And then they said, oh, we have a tryout. So if you want to become a professional wrestler, you should totally definitely do it tomorrow. And then I went there, and it was crazy because I got fourth place, and I just fell in love with it. I was like, I told my husband, I was like, I think I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna go to the gym and train first because I'm really out of shape, and then we'll figure it out. And then there, I talked to Roland Alexander, and I was like, hey, I'm interested in becoming a wrestler, but before I become a wrestler, I want to learn everything about the business before I get into this, you know. So I want to volunteer. So my husband and I, we used to ride our bikes to BART, take a BART, then ride like 3-4 miles, go to Hayward and volunteer there. And then whenever we could, we jump in the car with him or somebody else, and we just go around like Northern California and just listen to him, talk about the business. You know, at that point, Roland was he was more chill, because before he was like, you call him the Godfather. So he act like the Godfather. And like, at that time, like, this is before he passed away, he was very kind. He was always like willing to share stories of the road. And we were just, my husband and I were just like, you know, listening and taking everything in. And then at this point, Brian was supposed to go to college, and we got a bunch of like scholarship money. And then I decided to just, you know, go ahead and pay for it. And it was like $3,000. And then like not even 2 weeks after I paid for the school, Roland Alexander passed away, and the school closed, and I lost all my money.
So you talk about independent wrestling, and we usually ask the question, who stood out to you? Who was your favorites? You mentioned a couple of your favorite independent wrestlers. Was any of the mainstream wrestlers on your radar as far as people you were watching? Or were there any other independents that you were really interested in?
No, I mean, when I started watching wrestling was in around 2007, 2008. I used to watch TNA with the Knockouts. So that's like the kind of like female wrestling that I was used to on TV. Like anything WWE was always kind of like, not interested. And then once I started training, I started watching some wrestling, and then I started watching like women that actually were like wrestlers, you know, and I was like, whoa, like this is actually really good. And those are the ones that I look up to. I mean, the ones I graduated from APW Hayward from the gym were cheerleader Melissa and Sarah Del Rey. Mm-hmm. So women that are wrestlers, you know. And that to me was like once I started APW Gold Mine boot camp, those are the women that I was like, whatever they did, I have to like supersede it. Like I have big shoes to fill. Like I don't want to be just, you know, a pretty face, or no, I want to be a wrestler that can work with absolutely everybody, and that person that can, you know, say that she achieved something because she worked hard, and you know, and it was noticeable.
So, and you talking about hustling and everything, and I when I was doing a little bit of research, I was just kind of looking at how many matches that you've had, you know, as you've been wrestling, and the amount of matches that on this one website I saw that were documented. And I know that there are tons that aren't on there. I mean, I was like, holy shit. Like, just always working. And it's awesome to see where you came from and started to where you are now. And now one of the big reasons that we're here chatting, being able to chat with you, is Mission Pro. And the show, September 18th, this Friday, 7:30 bell time. It's in Buda, Texas. It's an awesome card, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But how did the opportunity and with Mission Pro kind of happen to you?
Well, we used to run Sabotage Wrestling, and Sabotage Wrestling was created because an opportunity came up, and like we saw a great opportunity for Brian. Brian always wanted to run shows. That's what he told me. I didn't want to run shows, but he was like, "Oh, let's do it." And then the whole name, it's like the whole premise of Sabotage was pretty interesting. So we run that show. We brought a bunch of girls from Canada, from like all over the country, Japan, Mexico. They all came together, and after like we literally called everybody we knew, and we're like, hey, we're about to run a show. I know we're not offering a lot, but Stardom is gonna be here, and he's gonna be scouting girls, and maybe somebody from LU is gonna be here, and maybe they're like interested in somebody. You never know. It's freaking LA. Just come down and see and see what happens, right? So we made that thing happen in 6 weeks. It was like one of the most stressful things we did, but we sell the place out. That was the only place with Kyrie, like the only like indie that she did before she got signed to WWE, which was
That's
really
awesome.
Say that. And then so we had that for a minute, and then we came to Texas because there was not really a lot of like women's wrestling here in Texas. The first time that I came here was I think 2016, 2017, early 2016, no, late 2016. I don't remember. It was one of those times. And then and I told Brian, dude, there's nothing out there. Like we can create something really good. Let's bring Sabotage to Texas. So we started doing that. Then we moved on from Sabotage, and then he still had like little, bug to like run shows. So we started doing Mission Pro Wrestling because it was something fun. We want to do something fun, like book a couple of our friends, just have fun. I didn't want to wrestle, so I was doing like ring announcing. So we did that, and it went really well. We're working with Pinball's Kingdom, who are like amazing sponsors too. They had a great time. They love wrestling. They had wrestling there before, and now they're just like they're very welcoming. Our friend Jeremiah, who's another part owner, he helped us out to get this place. And now once the whole speak out thing happened, Brian was like, he always does it. What do you think if we just like run Mission Pro Wrestling, but nothing but women? And I'm like, bro, I ain't got time for that. He's like, no, like, let's create something just like we did before with all the intergender wrestling that we were doing. But now it's a place in where 99.9% of the people are there are women. You hire like photographers, you hire camera women, you hire everybody is a woman, so we can do something different in the business, and we can create something that has never been done before. And I was like, okay, sounds good. And then all of a sudden it was announced on social media, and I'm like, oh Jesus, we gotta run the show. And then I forgot that it was COVID, and I was like, how are we gonna run the show? And I was like, I don't know, it's Texas, so everything, it's almost open, so we'll be fine. So we literally like set the time, we talked to them, and we announced it, and we hit up Robin, and we just, and a bunch of people were just like literally flooded into it. And like a bunch of articles were written and stuff like that. And like, I was like, whoa, like this is like bigger than I thought it was. So the ball started rolling, sponsors started coming, like I never seen before. Then just like a bunch of people from all over the country, they just want to come and help. They just want to be part of it, and that's what is really cool, because we're doing something completely different. And then other women in other parts of the country are also working on creating actually like not laws, but like something that has to do with human resources, and in case that stuff like this happen again, like women or men feel comfortable talking to somebody, and there is actually something said, and people know what to do, instead of just like putting it on social media. So there's an investigation, and if people want to press charges, like they know what to do and they feel supported. So it's been like really amazing, because it's been just a learning curve for all of us, because we're taking this to the next level. Like we're becoming a real like we were doing it for fun, and now it's just like real business. Like you guys were saying, it's been 2 months, and it's been like this week we're like tuning in a lot of the logistics stuff, and I was just like I mean, I have a great team, I have a great support, like other promotion, like it's hard to hear when other promotions want to help your promotion be successful. We have had some of them have become our sponsors too, which is like unheard of. Other promotions, supporting other promotions financially, because they see that there is a pool of talent that they can use from here. And even if it's in local TV, they can use that for them. So these opportunities for girls to work on real TV, and they can, when they go and apply for WWE or AEW or NWA or you name it, they already have some sort of experience. And by then, maybe they can be picked and get a contract, or the first contract, or whatever, So it's really exciting to see the opportunities that we can create, even with a small promotion like our promotion, because of the connections that we have been able to create throughout the years working with promotions like we had before on Sabotage. Because one of the things that we do is we're very loyal to the people that we work with, and we try to if people have beef, we try to stay as away as possible from that, because we have a very specific mission, and the mission is to help other people that deserve an opportunity to be seen by bigger companies. You know, I am blessed at this point in day and on this day to tell you that I work in 5 different TV shows in my career in the last 6 years. It's not even 6 years. And I met and I know a lot of people that I can be like, hey, I have this girl. What do you think? And you think, can she go and get something, or can we do something for her, or just guide her in the right direction, you know? And then my husband has a lot of knowledge with social media. He's been helping me tremendously and a lot of stuff. And now we have a team of people, and we're always yelling at each other to make sure that we're getting that right. But I think we're doing really like a lot of things right. And another thing that I have, you know, in my pocket is like, now I'm like tipping on MMA, which is another market, you know, and I met a lot of people through wrestling that are MMA fighters, and they just love this. So it's just like the possibilities are endless. And I always see it that way. It's like, you only limit yourself if you want to limit yourself. For me, there's no limits at this point. Like, there's still a lot of stuff that I haven't done and I want to do and will happen. But right now, our focus is this Friday. We're going to kill it. Again, like you guys said it, we sold out. And I just want to thank absolutely everybody that got the tickets and like they ready to watch a female show. Like, if we're doing it again. We did it in LA one time. PWG was running against us, and we were nervous. We were like, we didn't have any names in our card, and we packed the place because people loved what we were doing. And it's the same thing again. We're in a pandemic, but like I said, we are under safety guidelines. Like we posted them multiple times in our websites, on our multiple sites and stuff. And we are abiding to that. Everybody got tested. Everybody who's working the show got COVID tested before they work the show. We want to make sure that we're responsible. Like, we all have to like have jobs, and we want to have all their bookings. My husband has his job, everybody, is risking this, even traveling. But we all believe in one thing, and that is women's wrestling, that women deserve an opportunity to perform and to be able to put in a place in where they're not the special attraction and they're not the only match in the card. And that's what we've been doing for years. Like, we've been spending our own money, his extra hours that he works in his job, my other friend working his 3 jobs, me working extra matches to make the money to put a show, because they're not cheap at all. I can tell you, and especially women's wrestling is not cheap. So a lot of people can say that they do things for women's wrestling, but when you put the time and the work and everything else to take it to the next level, that's when I'm like, all right, I see what you're doing, and that's what we do. That's what the Cervantes family's been doing for years. We are sacrificing some of the stuff that we can do on other things because we want to be able to have this space, a safe space for women, or like before, when we were having intergender wrestling, so people didn't see it the way that they were seeing it. And now like this, like having women working on almost every single position. DJ, every position actually, DJ, freaking commentators, the ring announcers, the camera women, the photographers, who else? Our agent is Jazz, our booker is Robin Reed. So it's like, just tell me, when was the last time this was done?
It's monumental. I mean, it really is. And when I first saw that Mission Pro kind of popped up on my Twitter feed, and then I started to look into it and look at it and read about it, I was like, this is something that's gonna spark a revolution here. This is gonna just keep on freight training. And I mean, me personally, it has opened my eyes to, I've watched so many matches from the women on the card that I hadn't known of before, and it some of the talent on the card is absolutely amazing. Everybody that we've talked to, and Christopher said it before, has been so gracious of their time to us. They've been so fun to talk to. Just the interactions between us and them on social media, when we were talking after the fact, it's been phenomenal. the card. Robin Reed put a awesome card together. Did you have any input into the card at all?
Of course, we do. Yeah, we did. We definitely have a lot of suggestions. I'm very, very big on promoting our local talent, and there's a couple girls that I see working, and they go the extra mile to, to sharpen their craft. And that for me is very respectful. I did the same thing. I traveled like hours to LA when I was living in Oakland. I was staying like in people's floors, on my best friend's couch, sleeping in parks with my friends when we couldn't drive an hour away because she lived in like West Hollywood, like stuff like that. And some of these girls, like here in Texas, because Texas is huge, they go from like here to Dallas to train with what's her name, Amber Moon. Mm-hmm. Then there they go here, they come to San Antonio to trade with Jazz, so there's always like this trading. And then when I have time, I go and show up with Jazz and like do a couple things with them. And I see the same girls doing the stuff. So I told Robin, I was like, let's make sure these girls are in our show. Like this, I think this is the future. There's like 5 or 6 girls that we are like really here and start putting a lot of time, and effort to like try to take them to the next level. And then there's a lot of talent that has never been seen here before, that are very, very talented. And I'm really, really happy they're here. So we're really excited that this is going to happen. And, hopefully in the future shows, like I don't wrestle as much because I want to give this space to girls that are in the, on the rise and they become the stars. Yeah. So that for me is very important. I'm not the type of person that I'm like, oh, I'm the owner, I got to put myself over. No, I don't have to put myself over. I really want to put the time to like, all right, let me organize this, because I really want to start organizing for the next future shows. Bringing women that were in the business, that are not in the business, but they're very successful after they stopped wrestling, because it's very important that we think about our future after wrestling. Mm-hmm. Because or even when you're wrestling and things like COVID happen again. And how are you going to survive during something like this? When you're an independent contractor, you probably are not paying taxes, and you don't have a regular job. So, how you pay taxes, by the way? No, but I'm just saying, like, because it's like, it's not having a regular job. You don't have a, right. You know what I'm saying. Oh, so yeah. It was very difficult. That was one of the conversations I remember listening to a lot of podcasts, and they were saying, how does wrestlers are gonna get paid now, or how are they gonna get employment? So it's very important that like we educate our women and our men too in the business to know what are their options as independent contractors to make a living outside of wrestling. I definitely am very blessed that I used my brains while I was, things were going good and we started like little businesses here and there. But some people, like, they don't really know what to do, and they don't really know how to use social media to get themselves out there, not only as professional wrestlers, but entertainers, and everything else is going to come up for them. So, those are like the plans in the future. And we have other grandiose plans that we're still working on that I know it will happen, again, because of the connections that we were able to create.
Yeah, and you do have a lot of good connections. I mean, anybody that's seen TV in the past couple of weeks or past couple of months or past couple of years, has seen your face. Now, the card itself, outside of your match with Lindsay, you personally, what match is really sparking your interest? What match is the one that you want to see the most?
I like, because Rachel Rose and Elena Black, they've been talking like smack to each other. I want to see what they have in store. They did like this little thing in another podcast, and they were like so cute. I was like, oh, look at them fighting. So that's been really good. I really want to see Swole and La Rosa Negra wrestle. I haven't seen La Rosa Negra wrestle in like a couple of years. So I just got a message from her, and she's literally like jumping off joy that she's going to be able to get in the ring and perform, because there's nothing happening in Puerto Rico for her right now. Mm-hmm. I'm so excited to get out there and just have the opportunity to like share her like talent, because she's very talented, and I don't think a lot of people have seen her wrestle, and she is so entertaining. I think you guys are going to have a lot of fun. I think Red Velvet and Maddie is going to be really good. Red Velvet is another talent. I met her in AEW, and she happened to contact Robin by luck. And Baby D is gonna be our ring announcer now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yay for Baby D.
Due to some health issues. Like now she's gonna be our ring announcer, and that opened the door for Red Velvet to be on our show. And they're gonna have a lot of fun. I think Maddie is a great up and comer. I've seen her before, like
Strong.
and she has a star power, and she always brings a lot of people with her. So that's another thing I like about her. she markets herself really, really well. I don't know. Like I think the tag team match is gonna be really fun. All the girls have been doing an excellent and superb job on promoting their match and promoting themselves. So I'm really, really proud of them. Again, a lot of them, I saw them when they were like training before they debuted, and I see them progress. So it's really sweet to see them, you know, in our show, and like they're always calling me Mama Thunder or Mama Rosa.
Aw.
I mean, again, because I care for them. I see them grow. I see them struggle. I see, you know, when sometimes we're in the same shows and they have some matches, and I'm like, girl, I feel you. You know, it's just like, you know, but it's always like just telling them like things that I wish somebody told me and I would have known. And I tell them that so people don't abuse them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can happen. Like some people are very, I mean, we're in the entertainment business, so people become very egocentric and it's all about them. And it's just like, it's not fun. When it's like that, oh man, you dread going into the match. You're like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to work with this person. It's horrible. It's like, wrestling is supposed to be fun. Like this job is supposed to be fun. We're here to make you forget about your problems and think about our problems in the ring, you know? So that's like my mentality now. And there was a point where, and I tell the girls, when you're feeling that way and you're bitter and you're not enjoying it, take some time off, because we are enjoying it. And we don't want you to, because of your energy, we don't want you to ruin our stuff. So again, with Mission Pro, that's what we're trying to create. We're trying to create a big family, a sisterhood, a real sisterhood. And really like weed out people that are not with that mentality.
Yeah, and I think and Christopher, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but we've seen that just from talking to the women. I mean, not involved in each other's matches, you know. Baby D talked up, you know, Vert Vixen and Rookie Jenna Lynn, and you know, Red Velvet was talking up Vert
La Rosa
Vixen,
Negra.
and La Rosa Negra was who was her trainer, her first trainer. So it's awesome to see how much like just support and love and like everything is just surrounded by, you know, the whole show, the whole promotion, everybody involved. So
No,
it's a breath of fresh air.
No, because it's important to have that. I mean, there's nothing worse than that when I feel, because you know things go on like through the grapevine always, and it's really sad to hear like one of the girls like, oh my God, I had this terrible experience with this person. She treated me like I was like less than, and I'm like, it breaks my heart because I was treated like that so many times, and I was said like the worst things in the world. Like right after I got injured, you know, people are telling me like, well, you think that you're all that, and like you think that because you work in the underground you can be like, dude, first of all, I'm injured. I'm like, you know, I can't even pay attention to that, and then you're like telling me what a piece of crap I am. Like, excuse me, like, no, that's not okay.
Stay away.
No time for that.
Stay away. No.
You know, it's not cool. Like there was a lot of stuff that happened to me when I was coming up, and like I don't want like my girls to go through that. And even if they go through that, I want them to feel comfortable talking to me and like, hey, like, you know what, it's okay. Like, don't take it personal, you know, and like, I know the type of person, how much passion you have for the business. Don't let that individual kill your passion for the business, you know? I mean, I've seen it so many times, and I tell you, like, it happened to me multiple times. Drago is making his entrance again. In every podcast that I've been, he's always
Drago.
But yeah, that is important, you know. Like I always say that this is not the 1930s, you know. This is 2020, and things, in order for us to become better, things need to change. It needs to be respect, mutual respect, and even when there's something wrong in the ring, it is okay to say sorry and like just leave it there and just not blame the other person. I mean, it takes two to tango, right? But sometimes it's hard. But again, it's like being able to express, I am not okay with what you're saying right now. I just, you know,
a safe space.
Yeah, that's and that's what it comes down to, man.
Well, we know Hell Hath No Fury is Friday,
Yes.
but what's on the horizon? Are there any tidbits, any exclusives you might be able to give the wonderful people watching and listening about the next show?
No, because you have to wait until September 18th. I'm not gonna.
I love it.
You guys have to watch the show and get tickets. You need to go on titlematchnetwork.com.
I already signed up.
Yeah, I know. A lot of you are like, no, the COVID is happening. I don't want to go. Then watch it on Title Match. Support small businesses, support small companies, in order for us to get bigger. And if you guys want a bigger name, we can afford that bigger name. It's just like that's important.
Yep. Well, you touched on something, and I'm gonna veer off a little bit. You mentioned how you're a small company, and I just have to say it's never felt like that. The group that's come together and the people that you've put together, you've turned a small company into this big movement that's happening. It just doesn't feel like you're a small company. It feels like you're a big name company doing big things.
I mean, we are. I mean, technically, in paper, we are, and we sold out, and and we have, like I said, we have a lot of support from many different people, and we are definitely very excited. Again, a lot of girls that are in other companies, they're just like literally on like the waiting list because they want to be part of it, and that feels so good as a testament of the hard work that my family and the team has been doing for the last 4 or 5 years. And also it has to do with like my work ethic and how direct I am with a lot of people I worked before. We definitely very supportive of a lot of my peers, and then when they are successful, I am very happy for them. I'm not envious. This is like, is their time, let's celebrate for them. When my time comes, I'm gonna celebrate, and I know for those that were with me, they will celebrate with me. That's so important. It is so important, that we understand everybody has different journeys, and our journeys will take either a short time or a longer time for us to obtain the success that we want to obtain, whatever you call success, right? But for me, like owning a company, a female company, running something like this, being my own boss, traveling all over the world, being able to help my son when I'm here and his homework and do things like that, for me that's success, because I didn't grow up like that, and being able to share my happiness with the world, that's success too. So again, I'm very happy for those that are very successful right now and that they're doing big things, and I see the support by messages or just like saying that I would like to be part of it, of what you're doing.
Yeah, it seems like everybody wants to be a little part of what you're putting together, and that's all we've heard is people actually reaching out to you and wanting to be involved and being like, I need to be on this card. I need to be part of Mission Pro. And that's impressive that you're able to get that groundswell going.
Yes, and hopefully, like I said, not hopefully, it will continue to be that way. We're gonna nurture it to be a positive environment, and for people to feel comfortable to come and be part of the show. And I wanted to be happy, but I also wanted to be a learning experience, because it's like, this is bigger than what we think it is. It's not just your regular independent promotion. Like, I really want to treat it as like a little more of use, like I said, when I was telling you about the podcast, it's like a way for you to practice some of your skills that you probably don't feel very comfortable, but it's really good that you start doing it little by little, and then once you get a name, you can start charging money, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
It's just like it takes time, and some people don't feel like it's important, and I think it feels like it might be a burden, but it's everything is about perspective, right? And sometimes people are begging for people to do interviews with them, and nobody wants to do interviews with them. But when the opportunity is there, just take it. You never know who these people know. They might know somebody, and they can get you an opportunity. They can get you a booking somewhere. I don't know. It has happened to me that way. So I'm a firm believer that you have to, sometimes you have to stop whining and complaining and just do the work. Even if it's a lot of work, you just got to do the work.
Mm-hmm. All right. Speaking of doing the work, you've been on quite the road trip recently. And as you said, you've been doing it for 6 years already. But most recently, you've been traveling a lot to get some wrestling shows in. We love to hear about travel. We love to hear about what's going on the road. How's the road been? Have you had any interesting things happen on the road? Any fun stories you can tell us on the air?
Oh, the Destruction Tour 2020. Marie Paula dad from NWA. She's like, our queen in her Destruction Tour 2020. Where is she going? Funny stories, man. Do not fly on American Airlines.
Oh.
There's no, yeah. I'm like,
there's no funny part to that. It's just don't do it.
No, I'm like the hashtag middle seat rage. Middle seat rage. Like all my flights are in middle seat. Like I'm always doing elbows with people. I'm like eating like this. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know. Like,
I thought they weren't doing middle seats. Like,
dude, that is so packed. Like yesterday, I was in Dallas, and they were like, we will offer $250 to 2 people. I want to stay here until tomorrow. We give you a hotel room because we overbooked the flight. I was like, bro, what? You know, it's like, okay, I got you. Let's see a funny story. I don't know. I mean, when I met Dustin Rhodes, man, he blew me away. He's like one of the nicest people in the world. I was like, oh, Dustin, and he's like super sweet with all the ladies, super sweet with everybody.
He does a lot of the training for AEW women, right?
We train like before the shows, and it's been really nice to see some of the girls that I didn't know before. A lot of them are from Florida, and like being able to work one-on-one with them has been really, really cool. Definitely, that was one of my positive things, meeting a bunch of like Jake the Snake. He's so funny in the back. Seeing a lot of the people I work in Lucha Underground with, just seeing them doing their stuff. Penta, Phoenix, Jack Evans, Angelico. I sing with the voice every time, because we always wear a mask, right, in the airport, and I act like I'm a fan, so I'll be like, oh my god, can I get you an autograph? And the guys are like, oh my god, it's Thunder Rosa, you know. I always mess with them. What's up, man? Why are you gonna give me an autograph or not? I'm like, yeah, go away. Seeing Sammy Guevara, like, I hate him in the ring, but he's my boy. He's like, oh, we always like Rosa, you know, like so much fun. Like I said, I work with so many different people. I really got close to like Trevor Murdoch. He was my agent in NWA, so he's like my little angel talking to me in my ear. Like I call him every time I'm gonna have a match, and he like helps me to like really focus on just remember who Thunder Rosa, the little bull, is. You know, he always tells me that I'm like the little 5'3" monster, and to remind all the ladies in the ring who the little monster is in the ring. You know, that's why they call it the Destruction Tour 2020, I guess.
There you go.
So he's been like super pivotal for me to like build my faith in myself, you know, not to like really like double doubt, like just self-doubt myself. He was like, just go like you used to do in NWA, do your thing, and you're gonna do great. People are gonna see your talent. Like, just remember that. I've been telling you this from day one, you know. Then calling my husband, I always call my husband and tell him all my matches, step by step. So he'd be like, all right, see, that sounds good. Okay, it's not good. Because he'd been on the road with me for all these years, right? So for him, it's really important that I call him with my matches. And then having my son tell me when he doesn't approve of an opponent, just to remind me that I need to F them up. Those Anakin text messages on Instagram, they're really funny.
If you didn't know already, you had to F them up.
You know, he's like straight up. He told me, I don't want to see a match that sucks, so you better F them up. All right. Yeah, gotcha. Straight shooter right here.
What was it like getting back into the ring? Like, we had that kind of pause that everybody went through, and now you're going like full bore wrestling. Like, what was it like?
There was no real pause, man. You know, Texas is you know, and then I was training, and as soon as they opened the doors in like mid-April, I was already doing MMA full contact, 5-6 days a week. So I was being slammed, punched, kicked. double leg takedowns, single leg takedowns, like all the takedowns I can imagine. I was already practicing. When I got in the ring and I started doing bumps, I remember I bitched out of one bump. Oh man, that hurt like for 2 weeks. It was just a regular clothesline, and I took it so bad, and I was just like, my ribs, oh, I can't no more. But no, we did a studio wrestling in Houston. Then that's when I decided, and I told Brian, I think it's time for us to open our costume matches, And we had our first shoot on July, and we didn't have that many matches, but it was successful. I mean, for what we did, we made pretty decent money, and we helped the girls get some work and some of the guys. And now on this one, man, we have a lot of work. It's just picking up, like a lot of the girls that were like struggling to make some money, now they're making money, especially, here in Texas. Like a lot of the girls weren't traveling and they weren't wrestling. So that's extra money that they can get for like their, car payments, whatever they need.
Yeah,
so
sure.
it's been work for all of us. So it's worked out really, really well. So I know costume matches were happening in different states, and some of them were doing, that's the only thing that we were doing was costume matches. And now from, I would say, August to now, everything has been picking up. Like I have been nonstop. Like I posted a picture this morning, or it was yesterday, of me looking like a zombie, because I had a photo shoot yesterday, which was really fun in Chicago. And yeah, man, that's how I'm gonna look for the next 2 weeks. Because
I like that photo this morning when I saw
That was
it.
good.
that was literally like me the last 5 days. It's been very, very like all over the place, but it's been amazing. Like I have enjoyed every moment, like from the lows to the highs to again back to lows, like those peaks and valleys. And I was talking to my coach, actually, my original coach, Dylan Drake, who was really upset at me because I had two coaches, Matt Carlos and Dylan Drake. I didn't have my coach's Dylan's address, so I didn't send him my PWI magazine signed by me. So he was like, "So where's my magazine?" And I was like, "No," but he was like, he just called me to tell me how proud he was, and that he's really enjoying the journey that I have followed, because from like all the students that he taught, like I'm the one that he knew from the beginning that I was gonna go to like super far. So he's really excited about this journey, and yeah, so it's been amazing. I can tell you, like I have gotten on my knees and cried of happiness, because it's like it's something that we worked so hard, and we really thought that at points that we were not going to make it, because of X, Y, and Z. And I used to see, like I said, like I was telling you before, when people used to get opportunities and like be in big stages, I'd be like, all right, one day, I know I got the talent, I know I got everything. One day it's gonna happen, but it's gonna happen when I'm ready, and it's right. And when Billy made that phone call and say you're gonna be in AEW, after they were contacting me, and I couldn't make the decision because I'm with NWA, and then he spilled the beans, and he's like, you're gonna be an All Out. I was like,
What?
okay, and it was just like, oh, and then like just the prep after like flying there, like I was on a vacation with my husband, like I didn't have anything ready, like it was just like boom, boom, you just make things happen. The same thing happened when I went to Japan. They called me like a week, not even like 10 days before, that I needed to get a passport. So there was no, because I was a Mexican citizen back then. So I literally went and looked everywhere in the country to see if I could make an appointment. The only place that I found was like in San Diego, which was like 10 hours away from my house. I literally drove down, left everything, and told my husband, I'll see you in a couple of days, and got the passport. Like it's the same thing. I feel like I didn't have this stuff, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get ready and get it done, and make and make it. And that's what we've been doing since 2014, baby.
It's that hustle, it's the timing, it's the journey, it's
Ready.
Yeah, just be ready at any point in time.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, like MMA this year has helped me so much to stay ready, like mentally, like spiritually, and like physically, especially physically. Like conditioning is like no other. Boxing, wrestling, and like the amount of sparring and everything that I was doing before like the call. Like that's what kept me like so sharp, and like just being there all the time, like it's helped me so much with my character and with my fluidity in the ring. Like and just being confident now, you know, like I know that losses sometimes are hard, and my first fight was a loss. Like it just helped me so much to believe in myself, like that you can be put in any situation and you can still feel like you did something and accomplished something. Like you know, I went pro like, like right off the bat, and went with somebody that had a lot of experience, and I give her a hard time, you know, and she wasn't able to finish me, and I gained a lot of confidence. So I'm confident now on everything I do.
Are you taking some of that MMA background into your match with Lindsay?
Everything. She's a killer. Like that's what I was working out today, and I was making all this like, yo, I'm gonna kill this bitch. You know, I'm doing deadlifts and thinking about the match. I'm like, man, this is gonna be a good one. And I was like looking at her pictures because she competes too, jiu-jitsu, and she's a blue belt. She's a higher level blue belt than I am. It don't matter, you know. I don't matter. It's gonna be a good match. I have a pretty good feeling, and today, like I said, when I train, and it was, you know, focused on that. Tomorrow when I go training, it's gonna be focused on that. Everything's gonna be focused on that match.
Lindsay, you better watch out.
Oh yeah, she knows. She already knows.
Oh, she knows.
She told me she was gonna go and get buy things in bulk, so I should get a Costco cart, and I
have one of those.
And I'm like, I support small businesses. I don't go to Costco. So.
Oh, I do that also, but I do have a Costco card. So we normally ask our guests outside the ring what kind of hobbies you have, but I don't know if you have time to have any hobbies. I'm going to ask anyway.
My son is laughing because it's true. I will say fold clothes when I have time. Like when I'm really anxious, I'll be like folding all my clothes, be like, you know.
It is therapeutic.
It is very therapeutic. I like to read, like especially when I don't have Wi-Fi on the planes. Like I always carry one book or two. I read, and I like to listen to podcasts, like motivational podcasts. Those are phenomenal, and they have worked for me so well in the last year. I've learned so much about just like the power of positive thinking and the power of, like, you know, saying things to the world, to the universe that are positive. And I like really go on those. Like I have my two tunes. Like I'm gonna tell you what I listen, and I listen to them all the time. It's Jay Shetty, On Purpose, and Lewis House. The School of Greatness. I can't even remember. The School of Greatness and On Purpose. Like those are the two ones I listen to most. And then almost every morning, I listen to this thing called Daily Quote. It's like a 2-minute thing, and it talks about a quote of the day, and then it explains it. So that like really helps me to like get into it. So that, and then I write a lot of notes and gratitude letters when I'm like on the plane or when I'm like feeling a certain way. So I like to write. I used to do a lot of before. I like to paint too, but I don't have time to paint anymore. And I will say Father Drago. That's another hobby that I have.
Spend time with the pup. Yeah.
Yes, he's definitely everybody be bothering him. But yeah, those are like my hobbies. And sometimes when I have time, I watch like anime. I've been getting into anime again. So I watch 20-30 minutes. If it's really interesting, I actually pay attention. But if not, I'll be doing something with my son or
folding clothes.
Yes, always folding. Doing something else that has nothing to do with it. Those are my hobbies. It's not as interesting as you guys think it's gonna be. But...
Yeah, it's the same things I do.
Good.
Yeah, I put together Legos to like detach from the world.
Man, I like to break things apart and like build things. Like my husband, when we used to work at a pool store, that's when I met my husband in San Diego. He had me like breaking what were the water vacuums, Ryan? Pool vacuums? Yeah, the pool vacuums. So I was just putting them away and then just like putting them together with the new parts and stuff, just fixing things like that. If I had time to do mechanic work, I would love to do mechanic work, like fixing.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you retire from wrestling, you can have a garage.
She'll be putting on shows. She doesn't
That's
have time
true.
to have the garage.
Like becoming a producer. Like I need to get better at editing. Definitely. That's like where the money's at.
So are we at favorites now, Christopher?
We are at our favorite part of the interview.
Oh, what is that?
Favorites.
Favorites what?
Your favorites.
Like what kind of favorite?
Well, that's what we're gonna ask. So you brought up that you like to read. So what's your favorite genre of novel or book to read?
Non-fiction, but there's fiction. Chuck Palahniuk. I love Chuck Palahniuk. The Fight Club. I think I read it like 3 times. It's one of my favorite books. And then there's another one. I can't remember the name of it, but it's about, you read it like an anime book from the back to the front. It's about a plane crash. It's a really good book. I can't remember the name. It was a great book. I read it. I read that one twice and I don't remember the name of it. So nonfiction, I read a lot of motivational books, things about finances, and just like self-help. Like I get very into that, and I'm like trying to like get better at that, you know.
You took one of my favorites away, because I was going to ask you what your favorite podcast was for the positivity was, but you already answered that. So see, you already led into the favorites there for us.
Yeah, I love Jay Shetty. He's fun. He has like really good guest, and I found the other one by accident, and I really loved it. During the COVID, that's when I started listening to it. So yeah, the School of Greatness is also a really good one. I like the 5 Minute Friday because he resumes everything in 5 minutes.
Okay, so you're in the gym, you're picking up weights, you're thinking about beating Lindsay or whoever you're taking on next. What kind of music are you listening to?
Oh man, do you really want to hear?
Yes.
So I have a motivational playlist. I listen from Drake to Tina Turner.
All right.
Bad Bunny, Kanye West. Who else do I listen to? Lady Gaga, no doubt. Beyonce, of course. MIA, Iggy Azalea. Oh, and then I totally forgot that I like Limp Bizkit when I was a teenager. And I listened to the Nookie, and I was like, damn. I was like, this song is so bad. I didn't understand. I used to sing it, and I didn't understand what I was saying. And I was like, oh my God, this is gross. You know?
I feel that happens a lot. Like my wife and I were driving in the car the other day, and I can't remember. Oh, it was a song by the band Poison. And it was talking about at the drive-in and the old man's Ford behind the bushes. And you know, I'm screaming for, and she's like, man, when I was a little kid, I never listened to the lyrics. And now that I listen to it, I probably shouldn't have been listening to it.
Yeah, it's really funny. But I listen to, depending on the mood that I am, I listen to a lot of like rap. I like, who I like. I have a couple, but I like sometimes I listen to Depeche Mode. Like I just feel like listen to
Depeche Mode. Okay.
Sade. I just want to feel like relaxed.
Yeah.
But I was like this like last 3 years I listened to like the POD radio because there's a lot of like 90s to like early 2000s music, and they have some good stuff in there. I was like, oh, okay, I remember this song. Okay, yeah. So yeah, those like the kind of I listen to.
It seems like every single person just about that we've talked to in the Mission Pro series just likes all types of music. Like,
I mean, yeah, you have to. Like if I want to cry, I listen to like Life Sucks. They have a radio thing that's Life Sucks, and I'll be like, oh, yes. And then or if I want to run and I want to feel like motivated, I listen to like Tina Turner, Simply the Best, like on repeat. Or I just need to I just remember that I'm simply the best, and I'll just be like listening hard, you know.
It's like your Rocky song, right?
Yeah.
Yes, like literally, it's like my Rocky song. That one, and like there's another one from Eminem too that I listen to a lot till I collapse. Like that's my anthem. Like I swear to God, like when I'm like feeling really down, I'm like, no, I gotta do this because you know somebody's working harder than I am, and I always think that somebody's working harder than I am, so I gotta work harder. So yeah.
Now, you've been around the world. You've wrestled in a ton of places. And this might be a hard question to answer, but do you have a favorite city or place or country that you have wrestled in? What's your favorite?
Man, Chicago is one of my favorite places to go. Like I used to go there every other month because I have so many friends out there, and I just enjoy the scene. The wrestling scene is like no other. The fans are great.
Mm-hmm.
Texas is definitely, that's where my heart is always. It sounds like a song. That's why I moved to Texas, because I really loved it. It was just something special. But it had to be Mexico and Tokyo. Mexico City, Tokyo. Tokyo is always like Corcoran Hall. It's like one of my favorite places to wrestle at. Like always. Like, it doesn't matter how many people are there. It's just Corcoran Hall, just because of the historical part of it. And just Mexico City, because it's just like, it was, when I went there, it's so much fun. The fans are so like nasty. They don't care. Like, you can say whatever you want, and it's just like they don't care. It's just great. Like, last time I was there was in Mexico City. We had like 8,000 people in the crowd, and it was like one of the first time that I go and like have that many people. And oh my god, I had so much fun. I was just talking so much crap to like everybody. And they go for it. And then yeah, I loved it. And then Tokyo. I would say my last 3 tours were so much fun, because I just came so confident this time. Like, the moment that I came out, and like my last match in Corcoran, I think it was, no, it wasn't No, it wasn't Maquito. It was another one. But one of the ones when I went to Tokyo Joshi on my first tour, and it was like to see who's the sexiest wrestler of Tokyo Joshi. Oh my god. I was being so extra. I was like selling like extra. It was great. I had so much fun. And I always had so much fun. Like that. It's like I said, I'm having fun with wrestling now, and I'm enjoying it. You know, because like I said, I feel confident. Like, some of the girls I work with are fantastic, and they're like zero drama. They just want to have fun too. So it's like creating and being able to tell a cool story, a funny story, or like a serious story is always like challenging, because for me it's always a clean canvas.
Mm-hmm.
And if the person is like willing to like go with me and dance with me at my pace, it's always great. And even if they don't, if we can, create another dance and make it
fun. Now, this isn't really a favorite, but a twist off of your favorite place to wrestle. Is there some place that you haven't wrestled yet that you want to?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to go to Arena, Mexico. Because it's la iglesia de todas las arenas. It's like a sacred place for lucha libre.
Mm-hmm.
So I would love to go there and wrestle. I would definitely like to wrestle in New York, in that big arena. They had
Madison Square Garden.
Yes, man, Madison Square Garden. That would be pretty amazing. Where else? Where else would I like to wrestle, Brian? Inside the basement of the Alamo, he says. I should wrestle there, maybe.
That would be an interesting cinematic match.
Yes, right? Yes. Or maybe the Tokyo Dome. I think that would be really cool. Now that they're opening doors for women there, so Tokyo
nice.
Dome.
Okay, favorite type of food?
Asian food. I include Thai, Japanese, Vietnamese. Which one? Chinese. Like my husband used to send his face like, yeah, she always eats that. I can eat that every single day. There's a Thai food at a Thai food place by my house that I always take my son. I love it. It's so good, and it's so nutritious too. So I'm like,
yeah,
I can live off this thing. Yeah.
Christopher loves Thai food.
She just named all my favorite foods.
Okay. And again, it's not really a favorite. I don't want to ask a dream match, but I want to ask, where is the final destination? What's the dream in professional wrestling for Thunder Rosa?
I just want to be able to live comfortably and not to hustle so hard. No, I don't know. I just don't. Right now, I don't want to like set a goal, because once you like hit the goal, you're like, what's next? Like the goal is like to be able to score a good contract in a good company that it's not that I'm saying that NWA is not a good company. I love NWA and like I enjoy my time in NWA. But it's always like good to like be able to be in a place where there's a bigger platform, you know. So definitely we're working towards that in the future. And yeah, I want to be able to work in a company where I'm able to like provide for my family without having to have like 50,000 jobs on side, and being able to create a legacy, like a financial legacy for them. And when I retire, like we can, you know, be comfortable. And there's definitely something that I've been working on in the last year, which is like creating strong financial goals for the future. Because I feel like a lot of wrestlers at one point they made a lot of money, but then now it's like they don't have anything because, you know, we forget that this is temporary. And like once you have a lot of money, you can like, I'm good, whatever I want. Let me just spend it on beer and ladies and all this wonderful stuff, right? But again, I'm just like really focusing on that. Like I want to retire when I'm from like my job's in like 50. So I'm like really hard, like working really hard. So there's still a lot of work to do. And I know that as long as I'm healthy and things are going well, like we'll be able to accomplish that.
Nice. Well, Thunder, thank you so much for your time. We have one last question for the podcast, and it's something that we ask everybody. And it is the most important question that we could possibly ask anybody, and it has to do with cookies.
Yes.
And the cookies in question are Oreo cookies.
Okay.
Are you on team single stuff, the regular classic, you know, just one layer of cream Oreo, or are you on team double stuff?
Don't really eat that many cookies, but my son eats all of them, and I usually get the single. You get the single stuff, right? He eats any cookies, but I usually get the single stuff. Like I don't eat a lot of candy.
That's okay.
Or, you know, sugar. Unless
No cookies.
No cookies.
No
My-
cookies.
My son
Nobody
eats-
gets the point.
No, I get the family style. He takes it to a room and disappears.
My daughter does the same thing.
But it will be single.
That's okay. We still love you. We're both double stuff guys. But as I said, thank you so much for joining us. Everybody out there, don't forget this Friday, September 18th, 7:30 Central Time, 8:30 Eastern Time. You figure out the rest if you're on the West Coast. Hell Hath No Fury, presented by Mission Pro Wrestling and Pinball's Kingdom. Make sure you get the Title Match Network and get that download, sign up, go watch the show, please. And if you're going to the show, because I know some people that are listening are going to the show, wear your mask, stay socially distant, just stay with your people.
Yeah. And if you don't have masks, we are selling masks, so we got you.
There you go.
They got
And
you.
make sure you pick up your T-shirts as well.
Yes, that looks great. Isn't it like super comfortable?
It is very soft.
Good.
I love it.
Well, Thunder, we had an absolute blast. Obviously, we know exactly where everybody should find you. We can find everything of Thunder Rosa out there on social media. We'll make sure to have everything at the end of this podcast, but also talk about Mission Pro, talk about Hell Hath No Fury, and thank you again for letting us be a part of this. The minute it was announced, I reached out to Chuck and said, we have to be part of this. This is something bigger than anything we've seen in a long time. Thank you for doing this, and thank you for becoming the student of the teachers who saw something in you, and now becoming, I think, that teacher of a bunch of new generation people out there that you're promoting and pushing up.
And, you know, hopefully this is like something that we are doing for many, many years to come.
I hope so too.
I
Everybody,
think so.
like, subscribe, follow Thunder. I'll have all the stuff at the end in the credits. Watch the show Friday. We'll see you guys next time. Thunder, once again, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
You can follow Thunder Rosa on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Thunder Rosa 22. She's also on YouTube. Search for Thunder Rosa. And finally, check her out on her website, thunderrosa.net, where you can get all up-to-date news and information on her and buy some merchandise. And of course, Hell Hath No Fury, presented by Mission Pro Wrestling and Pinball's Kingdom, Friday, September 18th in Buda, Texas. If you're going to the show, bell time is 7:30. You can find the show streaming online at Title Match Wrestling Network. And for more information on Mission Pro, go to missionprowrestling.net. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at The Bald Monkeys. You can also check out our interviews on WrestleJoy.com. Make sure to subscribe on our YouTube page to watch our previous interviews or our roundtable discussions. Just search for The Bald Monkeys. Watch us live on our new Twitch channel, twitch.tv/TheBaldMonkeys. And finally, listen to The Bald Monkeys podcast on Apple iTunes, Podbean, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from.